Hello and welcome to Hardcore Listing Podcast with me, Stuart Roy Whiffin, and
Hardcore Listing.
oh, you dirty boy.
I'm dirty, aren't I?
That's what we're going to call you today. Hardcore Listing with Stu and Dirty Boy.
Finally, the moniker I've always wanted.
So we've had a recording session today.
Yeah,
we're like U2. We're like Fleetwood Mac.
We sure are, mate. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, after the hard graft of 5 Irish whiskies, a hot toddy, and several pints of Guinness, we've had a cup of tea, and now you're treated yourself to a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, and we've had quite a few custard creams.
Yeah,
because it's dinner time, really. But for you guys, we're pushing on.
I'll tell you what time it is for you. It's fun time.
Fun time.
Let's tell you why it's fun time. It's top 5 adverts.
Oh yes.
Chosen by Christopher.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I've forgotten that one. Oh no, I haven't. I haven't forgotten. David Bateman.
David Bateman. What's the name of American Psycho?
Master Bateman. That was what they used. Did you ever used to get called Master Whiffin? Was that ever something that on letters you'd be called Master Whiffin because you
People don't do that anymore, do they?
No, but back in the fucking 1800s they did, right?
Yeah.
And they used to call me Master Glasson. So David Bateman would have been called Master Bateman on letters. So I'm sorry, David, that your parents put you through that.
I don't think you're sorry.
I
think you're quite pleased with yourself.
Not remotely.
No.
It's like when I used to say, I'm sorry, I've walked in the girls' changing rooms again.
Yep.
I wasn't sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I used to say it was an accident, but how'd you walk in there without any shorts on and
Exactly.
arrange an erection? But, did it a few times, got away with it. I'm still out, and so drink to that one, mate. What was you saying, mate? Sorry. The Bates Motel was actually...
What's the name of the dude in American Psycho?
It's something Bates, Norman Bates.
No, that's Psycho.
Oh, Psycho. Oh, in American Psycho, it was... is it Bates as well then, or Bateman?
Maybe I'm just getting...
Patrick Bateman.
It is, isn't it?
Well done, well remembered.
Yeah.
Well remembered me more.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Credit.
Right.
So, adverts. Right, so...
Go on, you go first then. You're number 5. Did you have any rules about these adverts?
Well, I've only got 4, so I've got to think of one while we're doing this, because...
Right, well, I'm sure that you'll say one, and then during our discussions, it'll trigger another one.
Right. Please tell me you haven't got that fucking Phil Collins one.
No.
Good.
I haven't got that one. Fuck
Rubbish.
That.
Oh.
No, because I actually... before we start, I hate adverts.
So, I hate adverts.
I hate adverts. Because...
If you say it twice, does that mean you hate it more than me?
I hate it more. I had to
right.
get that in there. That's everyone listening and watching knows that that's the rules, right?
Right.
If you repeat it more,
Right.
it means more to you, and you're more important as well.
What if I say it louder?
You're not going to be able to.
No, I'm not going to be able to say it louder than you, am I?
So, I don't like them. I don't like the fact that when I studied economics, I've bored you about that many a time. One of the areas that they take you into was advertising and, the principles of it. And actually the idea of one of the biggest problems we have is a lack of what we call perfect information, because you don't know everything all the time. We don't have perfect information, So adverts are a way of letting you know what's out there, products-wise. Yeah?
Right.
That's kind of handy, right? For you to know what the products are. Unfortunately, where adverts sort of went was, it's not just letting you know that they're out there. They also want to get you to buy them.
Yeah. Did you try and say adverts but burped?
I did a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Ad burps.
Yeah.
And,
that's quite good.
Thanks, mate. The only pun I'll ever do in my whole life. But then it's how far they'll go to fucking sell you something is what is a big reason why I hate adverts. And that's my,
I just don't really care for them. But my wife will fast forward them or turn the volume down on them and gets really angry. And that goes as far as radio as well. And so I think my hatred has grown with that. Shall I start?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for an advert when I was at school for I don't even know what the product was. It was some kind of spread. So it wouldn't have been like. I think it was at the time when nobody was eating butter anymore,
Oh, right. We were in March. wasn't
and
Like
so it was all
Vitalite.
about how like butter will kill you. You need to have you need to eat this instead.
Low in saturates and that.
And I'm sure it was called Country something or something like that. And so the advert was just this farmer with a kind of sort of Yorkshire accent. And I just asked him a load of questions, like, and he just answered with one word. And I've never heard that word before, but they'd be like, so do you like butter on your toast in the morning? And he went, Grelux. Grelux.
Grelux.
Yeah, and that wasn't the product. He just went Grelux. And then they just kept saying something, Grelux. And so for me, that was like, that's the closest I'm going to be allowed to say bollocks at home.
Yeah.
So it just meant me and all my mates at school and at home, can you pick your clothes up off the floor? Grelux. And like, and I've no idea. I've never seen it since. Any listeners remember that? Do message in. Drop us a message on the socials that you do remember that advert, and I'm not going mad.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Grelux.
So basically, that advert taught you a new word to use in place of swearing.
Yeah, because it sounded like it.
It does sound like it.
Yeah.
Maybe they even were doing that on the
Yeah.
advert.
Maybe.
That might have been there.
Grelux.
Grelux.
Yeah.
All right.
Go on, mate. What you got?
Never saw it. I think you just made that up. I thought you only had 3, so you've made that up on the spot. I'm going to go with Why by the phone?
By the phone for you.
I just love how that advert is advertising something that often you'd want to probably keep on the DL.
Yeah.
But actually they're doing it. They're screaming out a tampon ad. And I love that. It just always made us chuckle as kids. So it wasn't particularly because of what you visually saw. It's just that woman's absolutely brilliant effort at screaming body form. Are you looking for Grelux, the advert?
Yes. Go on, keep talking.
Yeah, so that was it. I haven't got a lot to say. Like, I think tampon adverts themselves are always quite funny because the nature of what they're advertising is like, how do you sell that without going too far into the purpose of them to maybe protect children? I don't know. I don't think we should. I think you should be quite out and out about it. But it's just a funny advert. It's like any adverts for constipation, things like Senecot. There's always a woman who looks quite uptight.
What was the advert that...
a little bit tense.
It's my life. It's my life. What was that one advertising?
I don't know.
Was that Sanitary Towels, Dr.
Possibly.
Alban?
Unbelievable.
I think it was.
Unbelievable. But I came up with the best advert for sanitary towels. But you'd need what you need is just a clip from a movie.
Okay.
And then, so it'd be really difficult to get a hold of that clip. But have you seen that scene of Carrie when she's in the girl showers? I always think that would be great. Just have like a 5-second clip of. I don't know if the listeners are very familiar with the horror movie Carrie, but it's a corker. But when she has her first period, God bless her, because her mum's very abusive, isn't she?
Really horrible.
She's horrible, and Carrie, unfortunately, already a bit of an unlucky girl at school, getting picked on. She has her first period in the fucking shower, doesn't she? And all the other girls freak out. Carrie doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She has never been told about it because her mum's protected her from it. And it's awful. And you see the blood running in the shower. So I always think you could have that like 5-second thing of the girl screaming and all the blood, and then you just put like body form up on it.
I mean, even
avoid any problems.
Even if they overdubbed like one of the girls' screams like, "Oh, body form!"
Exactly. That'd be brilliant. So, body form, if you're listening, tweet him.
Yep.
Carrie, if you're listening, tweeting.
This is all recorded, so we have got that copyrighted. That was our idea.
Sure.
Right, I'm going for my number 4.
Will it be chips or jacket spuds? Will it be salad or frozen peas?
Will it be mushrooms, fried onion rings? You'll have to wait and see.
Bird's Eye introduced Steakhouse Grills. Pure ground beef that you cook like a steak and serve like a steak. What will you give your old man with his Steakhouse Grill?
Oh, biscuits, it's chips. We all biscuits, it's chips.
Bird's Eye Steakhouse Grills. Now in lamb as well as beef.
I reckon them steakhouse grills. Well, I can tell you, they would have just. They're basically just a miscut burger.
It's a doner kebab. It's whatever was on the floor. The slaughterhouse.
They tried to pitch it like a bit of steak. No.
It's not.
That advert really makes me feel like I was a kid again.
Yeah, it's good.
That reminds me of being little. McCain oven chips. Yeah. That's my number 4, Christopher Glassam.
Well, that was for the burger, wasn't it? It wasn't for the chips.
It was for the. I always presumed it was like for oven chips, but then watching that, obviously it wasn't.
You know, how slow are you? Honestly, it's pretty obvious that that's what it was.
Oh, you can't find Grelix on here anywhere.
That's amazing. I can't. It couldn't have been that good an advert. You thought they were selling chips. They were selling the meat.
But I did think that. Yeah.
Oh, it was for the meat patty that McCain did.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it is your number 4 now, mate. Have you? Oh, that
was
is
it.
Oh, that is it. That is it. Yeah. Okay.
It's probably going to be quite a short episode, this one.
Yeah, but we were going. This was going to be a bit of a quick turnaround. This one, wasn't it? My number 4 is going to be Levi's, the Mr. Oizo one.
Oh,
but
right.
you could switch it in and out with that and the Spaceman. Because they were both really cool. Like Mr. Oizo with a puppet. It's just a cool tune. And it's like, oh, there's a cool tune here. Do you like this music? You probably should just buy our jeans. And I actually never... I'm wearing Levi's now, but back then I never used to bother. They're too expensive.
Levi's adverts, right? Because this is where our age is going to differentiate, right? So for me...
Were they all riding horses, were they?
It was this one. Nick Kamen. One of the most handsome men ever.
That is really old.
Nick Kamen then went on to date Madonna.
Did he?
And have a pop career. Iconic this because pops off his
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I remember this. I've had a few cheeky wanks to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Always when we get down to his beach, you go,
Yeah.
oh, that's a bit steamy.
Of course it was.
Yeah,
It was super steamy.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was that one.
I haven't
And
seen
then
Levi's adverts in recent
and
years.
so after that,
Yeah.
I think there was one when A Man Loves a Woman as well, because Heard It Through the Grapevine got re-released on the strength of that advert. That's how powerful adverts were back then, because you couldn't skip them and shit like you can now. Before we get to Spaceman, let's not forget this one. Here we go. Remember this?
Yeah.
Wait for the tune. Only the band that Smashing Pumpkins could have been.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get this and put it on the TV for the video. People look at the video.
Wait for the riff, because this went to #1 as well, and no one had heard of this band.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Ready? Interesting. No vocals?
Yeah. No, that's an instrumental.
And
Tune, man.
so
Stiltskin.
that went to #1. Singer from Stiltskin is now the singer in Genesis. But then obviously it went to #1 because they obviously put the vocal on it and it became a hit. Again, just off the... Oh, here we go. So this is the one, 1995.
Oh God, that seems for so.
I can't even remember this advert.
mad, isn't it? So cool, man. That tune like that. Like, everyone went out and bought the single thinking it was going to be that, and then it was like, what the fuck is this shit? When it goes slow. It was so gutted about it.
I mean, it was a massive, like, tune, that, wasn't it? It was like, went to number one.
But I think people bought it like I did, thinking it was going to sound just like the Diesel advert all the way through, and it wasn't. It goes all slow, and then...
It was a really weird one to DJ, because, you know, before it became this... I guess Babylon Zoo become a laughing stock, didn't they?
Kinda,
and I think when Jazzman, the front man, went on Brass Eye, and they were like, so do you work with the constraints of music? You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and he was like, yes, but I'm pushing the boundaries. And I think Chris Morris said, do you think you'll ever play a H? And he went, I think I will. Fuck, you know. Didn't see a lot from Babylon Zoo after that. I think the follow-up single, The Boy with the X-Ray Eyes, I think was the follow-up. He was a good-looking lad, that jazz man.
He was, he looked good in a silver skirt.
He did look good in a silver skirt. Oh, mate. Bloody love the 90s.
Yeah. So mine was Mr. Oizo / the Spaceman one. Yeah, what's your number 3, mate?
Oh. What is my number 3? Right.
Are you going to play it again, are you?
Yeah. Bizarrely, like literally all of my ones are all on the same YouTube results.
Aura? That's too orangey for clothes. It's just for me and my dog. I'll be your dog. I'll be your dog.
Watching you do the dog has made my day.
We all adore Aura.
Very cool. It's done in that, like, the what was it, the Three Crows styling cartoon, wasn't it? Were they Three Crows?
Was that in Dumbo?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, it's really hard to have things to say about these adverts because they are just a little nugget of time that... I mean, I do remember then Kiora was like the ultimate squash. Everyone wanted Kiora. It was the greatest squash you could have then. And that was before, really, you had loads of bottles of fizzy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and so, you know, everyone would have either Tesco shit squash or
Robinsons.
You know, or Robinsons. Yeah.
They did a few good adverts.
They did, yeah. They did like the tennis ones.
They did the tennis ones, yeah.
What was it? It was the barley one they done, wasn't it? Was it like the lemon barley or something like that?
Lemon barley one, yeah. I can't quite remember what happened.
I always remember thinking like the lemon barley squash was like a little bit like bit posh if you're from like an estate, you know. You couldn't really have that. Like,
no, it felt like a trip into sort of West London, didn't it?
It did for me.
Glass.
If I had a mate, I'd, all my squash was in a plastic beaker, but or a mug.
Yeah.
Like, but when you went round someone's ass that gave you lemon barley in a glass, you just think, I ain't being funny. They're fobbing me off here because I guarantee they've got a fucking soda stream. Telling you, mate. Telling you.
Another soda stream. Well, that reminds me of the Umbungo advert as well. That was a great cartoon advert.
There goes me number 1.
Oh, sorry, mate. Really? I am so sorry.
I'll swap it.
I was torn to have it because the great thing about the Umbungo advert, I'm sure you're about to give us a little blast of it.
Way down deep in the middle of the jungle.
What's good about these adverts is they're not trying to overly sell you the product. They're just like, we've got to let you know that there's a product there and maybe give you a little catchy little song with it or whatever so you remember it. But we're not going to go too hard about the great benefits of this or pull it on your heartstrings. It's just a bit of fun and a bit light-hearted. And Umbongo did that. It was great.
Should we have 32 seconds of it?
Let's have 32 seconds of teeth-rotting goodness.
Way down deep in the middle of the Congo, a hippo took him every cut the rubber and the mango. He stuck it with the others and he danced a big tango. The rhino said, I know, we'll call it Umbango. Umbango, the trigger in the Congo. Python picked the passion to the mama, said the mandarin. The parrot painted mountains of the bunker. Who landed it? So when it comes to sun and fun and goodness in the jungle, they all prefer the sunny, funny one they call Umbango.
Libby's Umbango. High juice drinks. Free from artificial ingredients.
I didn't even realise he did all that rapping in it, really. Like, I don't really remember that as well as that. That was brilliant.
Can you remember the follow-up drink to Umbongo called Moonshine?
No, that's what they drink in the Deep South, mate, and in jails.
Moonshine. Don't know, but it tastes just fine.
That sounds weird. No, not at all. You're making it up. It's
think
like
I
your
am.
first ad, Grellex.
Grellex.
That was Grellex.
Oh, no, it was...
Umbongo, they drink it in the jungle. Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the sun went down on the Allegheny Hills. The air was split with the sound of wheels. It was Stanley Stoke and his brother Irvine with a brand new fruit drink named Moonshine. Boy, no good critters hit the load, and up jumped one Nathaniel Toad. He took a swig and then he smiled. Oh, the fruits in this here stuff is wild. Moonshine, moonshine, looks pretty good and tastes just fine. The ship is low from the county line. Only in the boys will be good in time.
They fucking went for it, didn't they? That's a really good cartoon, that.
Yeah, Libby's weren't fucking around at that point, mate.
But he didn't. He just
Umbongo
didn't.
and Moonshine.
Did Moonshine do as well?
I don't think so.
No, it probably tasted like that when I milked that cow.
What's your number 2?
Mine? No, it's my number 3.
All right.
But
Oh, brilliant. Why did I think of that? Oh, no.
Again, there's no reason, like, there's no relevance to the product. It's fine. And when that came out, oh my God, that was in my clubbing era. And that would, you'd be standing outside a club having a fag, and someone would say, "What's up?" And then the whole club outside, like hundreds of people would just be echoing round. It was so funny. They just nailed it. They nailed it. How to do an advert and to have all your mates doing it, and it's a bit silly and a bit fun.
Brilliant.
Shall
we?
Yeah.
Hello? Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie. Yo. What's up? What's up? Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True.
So good. Yeah, that's decent.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna have to edit these up here just so people can see them. Oh man, it's bloody brilliant. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's my number 3.
Do you know what? You saying tree really makes me want to do the Trio advert. Trio. And there was one for another chocolate bar called Bandit, and this Mexican. It was all set
That's
in like.
what you get called quite a lot, isn't it?
That's correct. Yeah. I can't stand it with Bandit. Get my chin off the floor. New Big Bar Bandit is as big as a door.
Wow. I don't think we even need to play that on YouTube.
It probably isn't on there.
What's your number 2, mate?
I'm gonna go for. I can't think what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. And it's one of them. Yes, of course it is. Right, so this come about when I was doing all the DJing with Buckley.
Right.
And every time we got an opportunity to shoehorn this in, we would.
Remember the bog off offer from SafeStar UK? Well, it's back!
You know the one. You buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free. Right now, for every single window door that you buy, I'll give you another one absolutely free.
And you can still buy now and pay next year. Plus, there's flexible monthly payments to suit you. And SafeStar are still giving you free fitting.
Trust me, it's free fitting. So call 0800 106 107. I said 0800 106 107 now.
Oh, mate, it is so freaky, that advert.
It's so good.
Yeah, it is. Like, you just can't ever not remember that. Like, that guy's haircut.
It's just literally filmed on his phone. Like, it's so budget and shit.
Yeah.
But I said, I buy one, I get one free.
You buy one, you get one free. It's terrifying, but brilliant. You won't never forget that.
He'd be the sort of person, if you turned up at your party, you'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because he's one of them people that would be like, how mad I am. I'm bloody bonkers. You see me advert? I bet he'd be doing that advert all the time. I bet he ended up going out, getting booked to do student unions, just walking on saying Jaeger bombs, they buy one, get one free.
Yeah, it makes me shiver a little bit thinking about whatever that guy's up to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not discuss.
Yeah, it was very memorable, isn't it? What's the Sill It Bang? That's always a bit like that as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit in your face.
Sill It Bang. Yeah.
Well, how else are you going to sell that? It's a load of shit, in it. You're going to remember that advert at least, aren't you? But absolute dog shite. You know what advert terrified me is my number 2.
Go
on. Is the Tango Orange one.
What one? There's a few, weren't there?
When he comes out the bin and he's got no legs.
Yeah.
That monster.
Yeah.
The orangutan type monster.
Yeah.
And he just fucking slaps someone around the head. It just absolutely terrified me. I was going to say the Terry's Chocolate Orange was going to be my number 2 because I love that one when the boulder's rolling down behind him. And it's the Indiana Jones rip-off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that just stuck. When we said what adverts, for some reason that came straight to my mind because it scared the life out of me.
Yeah.
It's a horrible advert. Do you want to put it on? Go on. Can you get it up? All right, let me try and get it up. That's what he said. Have you got something? You look like you was going to say something.
Yeah, that was one of the first adverts that they ended up having to change it, didn't they?
Yeah, because it was too scary.
Because people were running up to people and slapping them.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And so they had to change it. Did he end up running up and like blowing a raspberry, or he done something?
No,
different?
it was Well, there was the first one where it was just the orange man, and you got tangoed, and he runs out in the orange outfit and runs out and slap. Yeah, that's it. I can play that one.
Hello, Tony. I think we might use a video replay here.
Super, Ralph. Let's do that.
Oh, yes, we could be in for a quintessential Tango Taste sensation here. Why, yes, Tony, let's look again.
Yes, Ralph. The big orange fella ran in from the left, and he gives him a good old slapping.
It just illustrates the bite and buzz. Oh,
that's a fucking great
advert.
Yes, Ralph. Super taste sensation, smashing drink, lovely.
You know when you've been tangoed.
The reason why is because when people were slapping each other, they were doing it, and if you he hits him on the cheeks.
Yeah.
But if you hit someone like that double-handed, you perforate their eardrums, won't you? If you slap someone's ears like that. So that was one. But it was also this one. This is the one that scared the fucking living shit out of me.
Oh, I've picked something up, John. Let's look at it, Ralph.
Hey, that's the catatonic king of real oranges accosting the back of his throat. Tony! What is that?
No idea, Ralph. But it's definitely not Wee Willie Winky.
Blast my tango taste buds, Tony!
Yes, Ralph. I'd be upset too if a man came up to me with his kilt flying. Spanking.
Well fucked up.
Yeah. I think that they took that one off air as well because it was just too much for people to have to watch that. But you remembered it. And
that's
you know,
really horrible.
Yeah, that one was horrible. But yeah, so that's the reason why. I mean, it's not even my favourite advert. I'm just sharing trauma. It's sharing time, and that was my number numeral dos. So, have you got your number one? Even though I've robbed you of your golden glory. Go on then. What you got for me, mate? What are you going to hit us with?
I'm a secret lemonade drinker. Always. I'm trying to keep it up, but it's one of those nights. Always lemonade. I'm a secret lemonade drinker. Always lemonade. Always lemonade.
Amazing. Just fun, and definitely don't, if you're having trouble sleeping, don't go and neck a bottle of sugar.
Yeah, remember that one, kids.
I did consider that, actually.
Oh, can you remember it, though?
Yeah, definitely. I 100% remember it. And I haven't, my number one isn't Accrington, Stanley.
Accrington.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, Elbow actually is a great one, man. Yeah, very fun. And just doesn't really need to say much about it, does it? All these adverts this is what I like, is ones that aren't trying to overly sell you the benefits of the product, and they're just fun. And I think that's how adverts should stay. That is why adverts can go and fuck themselves these days. And the one that I hated the most, I've mentioned this before, is have you seen the bloody have you seen the Marks and Spencer advert this year?
I'm not interested in any of that.
And then it's like, do you remember that beautiful thing where in World War II the English and Germans on the sides of, or was it World War One? Just here we go with guesswork. Is it World War II? I'm still sure it's World War II. And they're in the bunkers, and then they decide to go over no man's land and have a game of football on Christmas Day, because none of them really want to be killing each other, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because of how just shit war is, and they're doing it at the means of other people, other nut jobs, and they just have a normal game of football, and you think, what an amazing thing of humanity, it's most brutal that men could have that much courage and compassion to just want to say, look, what for whatever reason this is happening, let's just have a game of football today. It's a lovely thing. And then they put it in an advert, and they don't sell any other products, and then they just say, John fucking, what is it? Was it John Lewis? Buy our fucking stuff. And I just think, you cunts. And it's scary, because what scares me more than them making that advert is that they knew that would work.
Yeah.
And our public must be that much a bunch of dumb, fucking apathetic idiots that you can be shown something emotive like that, and then to then go and fall for it and go, wasn't that brilliant? Wasn't that advert brilliant? No, it's not. It's really bad. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that fucks me off. And my number one is you was going to say something there. Go on.
No, I have no time for people that go. I know that we're sitting here actually talking about our favourite adverts, but people that just go like, "Oh, did you see the John Lewis advert last night?"
It's really good this year.
They've got someone singing like a kind of more slower version of this hit, and they've stuck some sleigh bells on it. Fuck off! If you're honestly getting excited about watching a 5-minute Christmas advert, I suggest that I'll
tell you what, you're the sort of person who's filming a gig when you're at a gig, if you ever risk going outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Do yourselves a favour, turn it off, go and put on Classic 80s adverts on YouTube, and just watch some fucking nonsense.
Exactly. And you said nonsense, not nonces.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Clear, it's not allowed these days. So if you're going to get arty-farty with an advert,
right,
and do it right, the Guinness White Horses one, where it's the white horses in the surf. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Firstly, it's got a left field tune on it,
which
is fucking the shit. And it is arty as fuck. But it's just so well shot, and it's got they've used like CGI and effects with it, and it's but they've done it right. They've nailed it. It's like an advert where I put it as my number one because it deviates from a lot of the others that are simple and funny and throwaway. It's something that they really tried with it. There's that like that. The guy says that little poem through it as well, and it's done in the colour schemes of Guinness, the black and white, and that. And I thought, fuck me, you've made something that looks really cool there, and I remember it, and I'm like, that has some form of artistic value to that, and I'm not hating on it, you know? You're not overly selling me Guinness.
Yeah.
You're just doing something that's cool, a bit cool and a bit original. And yeah, it had, as I say, Left Field, I've always liked their tune production and stuff like that. I thought Guinness absolutely smashed it out of the park with that one. Yeah.
Consistently solid branding.
Yeah.
Guinness.
Yeah. They don't fuck about, and I could quite, even after us destroying ourselves last week with Rob. Thank you, mate, for doing that. And having whiskey and Guinness. I could probably have a Guinness now, even just talking about that and then thinking about the advert. So.
No. Well, now I've got to be on a choo-choo train at 5:30.
Should we go down the pub?
That was fucking carnage, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's been a nice little top 5 to do. And
very enjoyable. What ones do we miss, folks? Let us know.
And we'll see you next time.
Often come from down there, and your carpet smells from your dog and tobacco too. Well, Shake and Vac from Rain is here. It's all you have to do. Do the shake and vac and put the freshness back. Do the shake and vac and put the freshness back. When your carpet smells fresh, your room does too. Every time you vacuum, remember what to do. Do the shake and vac and put the freshness back. Shake and Vac, the new green fragrance and glaze.
I'd shake her vac.